Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in to Natalie Levin Astrology on February 25th. It's a Tuesday, 2020. And I am here today to do a check-in about the planetary and astrological energies that are hitting us right now. When I know that the energies are that something strong is happening, not just personally, but when my mother reaches out to me and says, "What's going on with the planets today? Everybody is so draggy." And I want to offer validation. I'm feeling this too. We have one, two, three, four planets in Pisces right now. That is Pisces energy rules sleep. It rules laziness. It's related to escapism. It's related to fog and confusion. And with four heavenly bodies in that sign, I can really imagine that it's been maybe very specifically intense for perhaps the past 2.5, 3 days that you might have been feeling like. And Michael Luton, who's a really amazing astrologer, said that it might feel like we're all on the good ship. What the fuck? Like, for reals. Like, we're out to sea. We don't know what's going on. Combine that with the fact that the sun and Mercury, the sun is our collective isness. I invite you to take what you like and leave the rest about everything I'm saying, because it might not match for you. I'm seeing the chart through the veil of my experience in this particular lifetime. The sun is right next to, conjunct, co-joining with Mercury. Mercury is the way our minds work. It's our thought processes. It's also technology and how we are able to communicate with others. Like me, you might be finding you are having trouble finding your words right now. Mercury, in addition to, they're both in Pisces. So that is not only a water sign, but it's mutable water. So it's the least contained, it's the least fixed, it's the most boundaryless. Let's call it even the ether. It's almost steam. It's not even, it's beyond water. And when you might be at this time experiencing incredible dreams. Your dream life might be wild and crazy, and it might have you wondering if your dreams are actually a snapshot of another reality or another dimension, another portal, which I think could absolutely be. Mercury is retrograde right now, which for me, that's even more of an opportunity to slow down even more, which we already are being asked to do with this Pisces season. Slow down, go inward. What am I feeling? I might not have any words for it. I might not be able to find the language to express what I'm feeling, and I might not even know what I'm feeling. It might be that foggy. The moon is also in Pisces right now. It's at there's 30 degrees in every sign, and it's at 29 degrees. It's just about to go into Aries. It will be in Aries later today. So you might feel a shift as the day progresses into having a bit more energy. I'm not sure. And then when we also combine this with the fact that the moon was what is called a new moon in these past 3 days, I think it happened actually yesterday, the 24th. A new moon happens when the earth is between the moon and the sun. So the moon is totally dark and we can't see the moon. And if the moon is representing our inner worlds and our feelings, I know for me, I might have even more trouble knowing what I'm feeling, but I also think you might be feeling incredibly emotional, because Pisces is so much water. It's access to tears. It's an opportunity to let your tears flow. Remember that tears have 14 different kinds of toxins in them. So it is an opportunity to irrigate your system, to irrigate your emotional field. In addition to that, when we add in the fact that Mars, which is the god of war and aggression and get things done, he is opposing directly, and he's working with lighting up our collective life mission right now, which is called the nodes. He's sitting at 6 degrees, and our nodes collectively are at 6 degrees of Cancer and 6 degrees of Capricorn. So what that says to me is collectively, we might be feeling so fired up. In addition to all the fog, like there's this anger that wants to come out. For me, anger is usually masking grief. And I imagine this is what's coming up for me because Pluto and Saturn and Jupiter are pretty close together in Capricorn. What that says to me is that we are really being asked to disintegrate and dissolve the structures of not only our society, but our daily lives, how we do our daily lives, what is working and what isn't. And that's not a slow process, especially when Pluto is involved. Takes a very long time to move along compared to, for example, the moon. So what are we being asked to dissolve and what is not working anymore collectively and also individually? Then we throw in Mars, who wants to work hard in Capricorn, but also he has access to fire and anger. So you might be feeling a lot of anger either from yourself or the people around you. I know if I'm on social media, I see it very visibly. Like that's a real way to take the temperature of the collective. And I can see that people are really fired up and also feeling really, I'm seeing hopelessness in there and depression and overwhelm. The overwhelm is the Piscean energy. Remember that the planets are always moving. So this feeling of overwhelm, I'm imagining will feel a little less intense as we move in about a month. You might feel a little less drowning in the Piscean energy. I would say that it's probably difficult to actually accomplish anything right now. We also have an eruptive energy of Uranus is trining Mars. So that is, and Mars is trining Uranus. I always forget which planet to put first. I think it's Mars is trining Uranus. It's the faster moving planet. And when that is happening, it's again sudden explosions. I know there was an earthquake in Turkey in the past 3 days. You might also be feeling in your own self explosions and eruptions, and your feelings might be bursting out, and you're like, "What just happened?" Like you get taken by surprise by your own emotions and by your own really passionate and strong feelings, and that can be really discombobulating. So I would say it's a really wonderful time when you feel overwhelmed or like it's too much. If it's possible for you to invite yourself to take a break from all the social media, if you happen to be, and news, like a news fast, everything's going to happen. The world's going to keep going, even if you don't know about it. And if it's making you unwell to be reading the news all the time, I mean, maybe like you check in for 10 minutes a day, but if you're on it all the time and it's making you unwell, for me, I don't think that helps all the multiverses. I think that it is more helpful when we as individuals are inviting ourselves to feel better and to not. Also, with all of the Neptunian and Piscean energy, we truly do not know what is actual fact and what is not right now. There is so much illusion and delusion happening. So even though you might think you know exactly what's happening and you are getting the correct information from wherever your sources happen to be, it's quite possible that it's not. So you might be getting all worked up for nothing. Like it might be all a puff of smoke. I wonder how that lands with you, what I just said. I'm going to keep it less than 10 minutes because for me, at least, that feels reasonable and like I can eat it, like I can digest that amount of information. Please know that I am doing astrological consultations, which would mean that you would give me your birth information, date, time, and city and state of birth. And then I would have a snapshot of your chart, your astrological chart. And then you and I can have a conversation about what that means and how it might help you. I'm so glad you checked in. If you are so moved, I invite you to like or subscribe or share this video. And I love hearing from you so much in the comments. It really helps me and to know that this is helping you. And I'm so grateful you chose to incarnate with me. Thank you so much for being here on this planet Earth in this particular lifetime. I hope you take amazing care of your beautiful, precious self.